Hey everyone, Kyle Walker here. If you love cars, fixing things, or just want to understand your vehicle better, you're in the right place. I share hands-on tips, smart driving advice, and straight-up car talk without the fluff. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stick around till the end. You don't want to miss what's coming up. Let's get into it.
Russian drivers and entrepreneurs engaged in freight transportation have started talking about tachographs. It is impossible to enter the territory of Europe without this device, and in Russia you cannot move without it because it is considered a violation and is punishable by imposing decent fines. A special card is attached to the tachograph, without which the operation of the car is prohibited. What is it? Where and how is it drawn up? What documents are required for this? What points should be paid special attention to? What does a driver card for a tachograph look like? There are several types of cards, which are created for different devices. Moreover, separate types of documents are issued depending on the territory where the vehicle will be operated. There are Russian and European cards. They look different, although the general aspects are similar. The following information in Russian is printed on the Russian sample card: surname and name of its holder, date of birth, the period during which the document will be considered valid, the name of the organization that issued it, number, series of the driver's license, and its card, photo of the document owner and her personal signature, postal address of the company that owns the car. On the European-style card, all data are indicated in English. There are practically no differences in the items, except for some nuances. Varieties of tachograph cards. Driver cards are issued according to the specific reading devices. Tachograph cards also differ depending on the country in which they will be used. For example, for traveling in European countries, adhere documents are required. For drivers working on the territory of Russia, it is required to issue a card of the SCSI format, made of a special plastic. The material must meet the requirements of the technical regulations and have the SCSI designation. Tachograph cards are issued not only to drivers, but also to other persons who have the right of access to the reader. Driver cards provide access to the vehicle and open the right to operate the vehicle in working mode. The document, which is issued for businesses, provides full access to information about the movements of vehicles. Cards for controllers are provided to inspection organizations and traffic police officers. Documents for installers are a special chip that allows the installation of equipment, its repair, and customization. Who is entitled to its registration? Not every person can order a driver's card, so first it is worth familiarizing yourself with those categories of people who have the right to do this. Holders of a driver's license of Category C, D, E. The initial issuance is available to people who have not previously issued such a document. Citizens who have resided in the territory of the Russian Federation for at least 185 calendar days continuously. The age limits differ depending on the vehicle for which the card is issued. For vehicles with a maximum weight of 7.5 tons, the driver must be at least 18 years old at the time of application for the card. For the use of other motor vehicles, the driver must be over 21 years of age. The same restriction applies to driving passenger vehicles. A minimum of 1 year. This must be the length of service in freight or passenger transportation. Where to get a driver's card for a tachograph? There are several options for obtaining a tachograph card. Study each of them so that you can choose the most convenient. In the office of a service center that installs, repairs, maintains, and adjusts tachographs, you can often get a card. You can find such a suitable firm on the website of FBU Rosavtotrans. In the section Tachograph Control for RF and ATR, there are lists of organizations that have been licensed and certified. Not so long ago, it became possible to apply for a card via the internet in online mode. This method is convenient and quick, but in some ways dangerous. Among the official resources, there are illegal ones, operating without certification or any authorizations. The website offers downloadable application forms and samples for their correct filling. In case of questions, you can get advice from a specialist in the telephone mode. For such an arrangement, you will need to register and fill out a form to create an application. The driver specifies his contact information, selects the desired format of the card, convenient delivery, and payment. After that, the service offers to upload scans of documents. Read also, Uber Cab, what it is and how to use it, and how would you like to get a driver's card for a tachograph. And while you are thinking, we will tell you about the package of documentation that you need to provide to the company with an application. For the issuance of a card, document package. Of course, for the registration of a driver's card for use in the tachograph, you need to provide a package of mandatory documents. It consists of the following items: passport, first page and propiska, driver's license photograph, a certificate issued by the employer, which will contain the details of the company, SNILs, a receipt certifying payment for the card issuance services. The documents required for a driver card for a tachograph can be called standard. The process of collecting them will not cause difficulties and will not drag on for a long time. Format of photos for the card. When applying for a driver's card, it is mandatory to submit a photo. It must comply with a number of requirements. Otherwise, the photo will simply not be accepted when processing documents. Size 3, 5x4. 5 cm, black and white format. Professional quality with correct light and background, no light spots. White clothing is not recommended, as it will blend into the background. Choose SCSI or ATR. This question should be decided in advance, even before applying for a driver's card. These cards are different from each other and are not interchangeable. To make the choice simple and correct, it is necessary to consider the features of each option. An ACS or NCM is a cryptographic module. Without the possibility of correction, the device can be removable or built in, but in any case, its data is encoded, so it cannot be changed or deleted. Any attempt of unauthorized access will be recorded by the device, and this fact will be known to controllers. SCSI is a requirement of the Ministry of Transport of the Russian Federation. ATR is a requirement of the European standard, which must be complied with in international transportation. These two varieties of cards are radically different from each other. Even in the external design, there are enough differences. The use of different fonts and watermarks. Presence of additional protection in the form of a PIN code in the document of the ACS format. The content of different information on the chips, different cost, longer process of creation of the ATR format card and higher. Degree of protection. SCSI is applicable only on the roads of Russia, while ATR opens international transportation for the driver. The conclusion is simple. If traveling outside the country is not envisaged, there is no point in spending on a more expensive document. Procedure for obtaining. If the procedure for issuing and obtaining the document is followed, these processes will go unnoticed by the driver and will not cause difficulties/distress. Initially, documents are collected and a photo is taken. The document package is accepted by the company and registered if everything meets the requirements. A check is carried out to ensure that the driver has not been involved in obtaining another card, assigning a unique number to the card and registering it in the registry. Production of the document. Issuance of the card to the applicant. Read also, features of obtaining a license for a cab in Moscow and other cities of Russia. Production period. The duration of the production of the document for the tachograph is regulated by laws and cannot exceed 15 working days. This period applies to the entire process of obtaining a card, starting with the acceptance of documents by the company. If it is a question of replacing the document, the term is reduced to 5 days. Validity period and renewal. Tachograph driver cards are valid for a certain period of time, after which they must be replaced. The validity period of a driver card for a tachograph is 3 years. This applies to both Russian and European documents. The card issued to an enterprise is valid for 5 years. However, the document for workshops is valid for only 1 year. The driver card for a tachograph may need to be replaced not only after its expiration date, but also for other reasons. Loss of the document, theft, the fact of which is confirmed by a police certificate, chip malfunction or mechanical damage, change of the surname of the document owner. Please note that changing the number and series of the driver's license is not a reason to replace the card. The reason for the need to replace the card does not affect the rules according to which this procedure will take place. The workshop is obliged to issue a new card to the customer 5 days after the application has been submitted. It is prohibited to continue to operate the vehicle with a tachograph without the card. Such actions can lead to a fine, which can be issued not only to the driver, but also to the company. The permissible interruption of work activity may be a maximum of 2 weeks. Urgent receipt of the card is excluded. And even if you come across such an offer, you should be skeptical about it. Who pays for the service? We speak with full confidence. These financial obligations are placed on the company's shoulders. This provision is stipulated in the order of the Ministry of Transport. The card is an external component of the tachograph, so the costs of initial creation and each subsequent replacement are paid from the company's budget. The company has no right to demand compensation from the driver. If such a case goes to court, the law will definitely be on the driver's side. This information will be useful to every driver who is dealing with tachograph cards for the first time. Important trivia when applying for a driver card. There are a number of subtleties that need to be taken into account in the process of issuing a driver card. All of them are collected in a single list. The type of tachograph will determine the required type of card, documents of the ATR. Format and SCZI cannot be compatible. When ordering a chip card online, the company may require an example of a signature on a white sheet of paper. When choosing a company to order a card, it is necessary to check its accreditation, certification, and availability. Of all necessary permits for providing such services, the card must have at least two protections. The process of issuing a tachograph card imposes a number of obligations on the driver, failure to comply with which will result in administrative liability. Be careful and vigilant. The driver card is an important, serious, and expensive document. It must always be in the possession of its owner and must be presented at the first request of regulatory authorities or representatives of order on the roads. In conclusion, obtaining a driver's card for your tachograph is a straightforward process that requires a few essential steps. Remember to gather the necessary documents, such as your identification and proof of professional driving qualifications. You can apply for the card through your local transport authority or designated agencies, either online or in person. By ensuring you have the right information and following the application procedure, you can secure your driver's card efficiently. This card is vital for compliance with driving regulations and helps ensure road safety. Thank you for watching, and we hope this guide has been helpful in navigating the process of acquiring your driver's card.